life is full of, different obstacles, different adversity. Life is full of things that, we get some favor and sometimes we don't.
Right.
With each step, though, control what you can control, be grateful for what's good for you, learn from what's not good for you, and just keep it moving, bro. Keep it pushing.
You have to fight the battle of adversity.
You got to.
That's the only fight.
And
you
have
can't
to
run from that.
And you have to be accepting that adversity is going to continue to come because that's what life is. But with each moment, you're building yourself up for the next moment.
Yep.
Once you overcome that one, you put on some armor, you're ready for the next challenge, and on and so forth. And that's what this is about.
It's your boy, Baron Davis, and we are here. Raiders Talk of the Nation. Without further ado, it's an honor and a privilege to introduce this young man to the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, NBA, DeMarcus Cousins. Let's go. You embody everything of a Raider.
Absolutely, man. I think it was meant to be. It was destined. Yeah. Hand in hand.
Yeah. Talk about your first experience. Like, when did you become a Raider fan?
It goes back to, a guy that I have the ultimate respect for. He's a hero, and I want to give him his flowers, and that's DeMarcus Russell. The way he's inspired, the way he's, reached out and actually touched, different kids in an inspirational way, the way he gives back. Just, being the humble guy that he is, where you can approach him and have a conversation. That's how I view him.
Talk about being a kid. Did you play football?
I did play football.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up playing football first.
What position?
I wanted to be a tight end.
Damn.
For me,
imagine if you played tight end.
I got hands. But for me, it was always a rough situation when it came to football because I always had to play with the older kids because I was so tall.
Oh, yeah, big, right?
Yeah, so for me, I just couldn't I could never match the physicality of the age groups that I played with. So I kind of fizzled out early. And but for me, my first love was football. I was a kid dreaming of making the NFL one day. Reality hit me.
Yeah.
Really, really hard.
Which is cool.
Thank you. Things worked out in the best way. Yeah. But, that first dream was definitely, playing on the football field and, it fizzled out.
That football mentality.
Absolutely. A physicality.
Applying that,
yep.
To Bass, talk about that mentality growing up, like as you start making a name for yourself in your neighborhood, right?
For me, it was an outlet, as it was for a lot of the kids in my community, in the area. So that's what it started off for me. Obviously, I fell in love with it and, just the physicality, the tough warrior mindset going. And for me, it's old school football.
Yeah.
You get judged as a football player by how much different colors, right? on your helmet. So for me, it was, it was just that warrior mentality that I fell in love with, and obviously, it was something that I carried on and even transitioned into, my next career, which was basketball. So that's something I've always carried, and just growing up in Alabama in general, like everybody starts off. Alabama is a football state. It's not right. It's not known for basketball. Right. Everything is football there. So at birth it's either Auburn, Alabama. So you got to figure that out.
You got to figure that out. What side you on?
Roll Tide. You know what I'm saying? But
now, if you were to liken yourself to a Raider player on this current team with your game as a player, who would you draw that comparison to?
Mad Max.
Thank you.
Come on, man.
When I look at you, I look at Mad Max. I'm
Max,
like,
bro.
Damn, dude, if Mad Max played basketball, it's DeMarcus Cousins. 40, 20, 8 assists.
He got finesse. He got physicality. Like he back up his talk.
I'll back it up.
Everything about him is toughness. Yeah. Like Mad Max, 100%.
Who say I can't rush inside? Who said it? Bow, bow.
Talk about that mentality, like that you kept.
It's a level of confidence that you reach from the amount of work that you put into your craft.
Mm-hmm.
When you've worked on these different things over and over and over again, like it's not about the person in front of you. It more so becomes about yourself and your mentality and your approach to every game. So for me, I know I put the work in. I knew, I put in the time and effort to get as close to perfecting my craft as I could, and that's what I leaned on. That's why my confidence was so high. I was confident in the work. I was confident in the behind the scenes of blood, sweat, and tears and figuring out this new move or figuring out one of my weaknesses or whatever the case may be. So that's what fueled my confidence. And then on top of that, I was a kid that lacked confidence growing up. But and the reason was there wasn't a lot of examples of success. So for me, I got a lot of praise coming up as, everybody telling me how great I was going to be or, how good at basketball. But for me, it was hard for me to believe it because I'd never seen it before.
When did you start seeing that? Was it in college?
For me, it honestly happened with every milestone.
Level. Yeah.
And my confidence I was literally the type of guy where my confidence would grow with each game, each practice, each moment. So, and then once I got to that, I never lost it. I think emotion is big in sports.
Huge, right?
Yeah, and I just hate how, you know what I'm saying? That's something that we've gotten to a time now where everything is so mechanical and analytical to the point where, the game is judged off numbers and things of that nature. When back in the day, it was judged off your heart. It was judged off the competitor. It was judged off your will to win. It was judged off what guy I know will go out when the game's on the line and make plays to win the game.
Right.
That's what, it used to be judged off of. So, for me, when it came to that passion and that emotion, I always embraced that. I love players like, Kevin Garnett when you knew when he was mad, you knew when he was happy. I love that type of energy.
I feel like it's our outlet. Like the emotion is what drives you.
Absolutely.
Right. And, just walk. I say you walking into the gym, you put the work in.
Absolutely.
But what's in between here?
Right.
That you carrying, and it's like, okay, I'm about to dump all this
right
trauma, stress,
frustration,
joy. I can
all that.
Dump all that on the court, and it actually worked for me.
It ain't no different than, your favorite music artist.
Yep.
Usually an artist's, best piece of work is when they're going through something. A breakup, a divorce, or some type of heart. You get your best music, and it's no different. It's all a form of art. You know what I'm saying? And when you can dig deep and dig into that emotion, I feel like that's when you get the best version of anybody.
Talk about, you're in that transition where you can still get out and go.
Absolutely.
Right. You love the game still, but at the same time, it's time to take that next step. What does that feel like? And then what is that next step for you?
When you've done something for so long and then you just come to that moment where it's like, all right, what's next for me?
Yeah.
So obviously that transition is scary, but it's also exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
It still keeps your competitive juices flowing because it's like, man, I could be really good at whatever, I decide to do next. You know what I'm saying? So for me now, I'm moving into this space. I love it. I love being able to use my voice, express myself, show a different side of myself outside of just being that competitor on the floor.
I like you in the media space because
appreciate you, bro.
It's honesty, right?
It's the only way I know how to shoot, man.
But it's honesty and intelligence. We talk about this all the time. Like there are people who play the game and there are people who analyze the game and people who are part of the media of the game that don't, I'm not going to say it's a certain type of credential.
Right, absolutely.
Of I played this, I mastered this, I'm still a student of it, right? And I'm a fan. And I think you check all those buckets.
Absolutely.
And from the media perspective, when I'm watching you, on your show, it's always honesty. It's always a good take. It's never a hot take. It's like it's never a hot
hot takes. I got a few hot takes.
But it comes.
But it's gonna come with honesty.
But it comes from an honest perspective. Like if you could put together your prototypical player and place them on the Raiders, like what would the makeup of their mental be?
I mean, I think one of the greatest minds all time would have to be a guy like Muhammad Ali. Just to, one being a single man sport where, what you bring every day is, whatever you put in it, that's what you're going to get out of it. So it's all on you, first of all. To have that type of mindset, to be as great as he was, to be, you know, the voice that he was for different communities, for blacks in general.
Yep.
To battle against the system, to you know,
He had
religion.
everything going on.
He had a lot of things going on, and on top of that, he was still great.
Yeah.
And you know, me and you can both speak on it. We know how tough a season is.
Yeah.
We know how tough it is just to be in the playoffs.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and it's like when it's over, it's so draining to the point where you
don't want to do
you don't
nothing.
even want to look at a basketball.
You don't
what
want to watch a game.
Absolutely. So, you know, when I think about a guy like Muhammad Ali and everything, you know, he endured at the time in the height of his career, I think he's the epitome of mental toughness.
Yeah, mental toughness, mindset.
Yeah, so obviously, when it comes to mindset, I'm picking a guy like that.
Talk about that mindset, that mentality when you feel like you're the underdog. Like, what does that do for a team like this? What does that do for you in your career?
Being an underdog ain't always a bad thing. You know what I mean? In my opinion, everybody loves underdog.
Mm-hmm.
Once you find a little bit of success, you know, you're going to gain love, you're going to gain attention, all those things. It also allows you to work under the radar, get better under the radar. I love where this Raiders team is going. One thing that I felt like we've been lacking in the past years was obviously stability. I think we got that now this year with obviously bringing in an established guy like Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
And every team needs a serviceable quarterback. So I think a guy like Geno Smith coming in, I think it's perfect. And on top of that, Geno and Peter worked together, and they also found success in their previous workplace. So I think that's a great start for us. When we speak about mindset, I think Max has an incredible mindset. He's a warrior. He's fearless. He thinks he has a chance against any team in the league. So you know, with that type of leader, obviously you hope everybody follows that mindset and, you know, be the underdog.
What do being a Raider fan mean to you?
I think for us, I think the identity is just, you know, toughness, number one. Passion, number one. Loyal, committed. Obviously, we've had some rough years, and you know, Raider Nation's still strong. It's still heavy. It's still in full action.
Yeah.
You're gonna know when we in the building, regardless. So you know what I'm saying. So I think that's just the identity. And like I said, the loyal and committed part is the biggest thing, because being a professional athlete, you want those fans that's gonna stick with you through, you know, thick and thin, the hard times, the good times. So I think that shows a real fan. I think that shows real genuine love, and you know, that's what it's about.
If you had a 7-on-7 tackle or flag football team comprised of your teammates, all the teammates you play with, you got to pick 6 other dudes and give them a position.
Rondo, my quarterback.
Okay.
For real.
Yeah.
I think obviously LeBron is my wide receiver.
You at the tight end.
He at tight end, of course. I think I'm going to go
Ja Morant
as my other receiver.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I need Steven Adams on the front line. Man, just clean up whatever.
He can be the center.
Yeah. Clean up whatever in front of you. What's that, 5?
Yeah, that's 5.
All right, running back.
Eric Bledsoe.
100%.
Hey,
100%.
If that ain't Ashton Genty, dog.
Yes,
oh
bro.
my
Eric
God.
Bledsoe, 100%, bro. Man, I'm gonna go with a guy like Wemby. Just throw it up.
Oh yeah, of course.
Wemby, yeah.
Come on, dude.
Wemby, just throw it up
That's
top.
unfair.
Yeah, nobody can
Do you
get
think
up there.
that team can beat NFL like pro
Absolutely
ball? Okay.
No.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
In flag football?
I don't. No.
You know, not at all?
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
I got the ultimate respect for everybody's profession, bro. Like, it's been a lot of conversations. It's a lot of conversations about guys can cross over and play in different sports.
They say that.
They say that. They say that. I do think it's always, exceptions to the rules. I do think some guys could cross. I think a guy like LeBron could, go play in the NFL.
That. Yep. If you can give advice to your younger self as an athlete, the high school version of you, what would that advice be?
I think the biggest message for everybody is just control what you can control. We always get caught up in the things we can't control. We was kind of speaking on that earlier.
Yeah.
Life is full of, different obstacles, different adversity. Life is full of things that, we get some favor and sometimes we don't.
Right.
But with each step though, control what you can control. Be grateful for what's good for you. Learn from what's not good for you, and just keep it moving, bro. Keep it pushing. Life's a journey. It ain't no quick race. It ain't no 40-meter race or nothing like that.
Yeah.
It's a marathon. You know
it
what
is.
I'm saying? So
like you have
run
to
that marathon to the best of your ability. It don't really matter where you place, as long as you finish. And that's what it's really about.
You have to fight the battle of adversity.
You got to.
That's the only fight,
and
you
have
can't
to
run from that.
And you have to be accepting that adversity is going to continue to come because that's what life is. But with each moment, you're building yourself up for the next moment.
Yep.
You know, once you overcome that one, you put on some armor, you're ready for the next challenge, and on and so forth. And that's what this is about.
Yeah, I be talking to the kids, and I be trying to relate it to like video games, like badges. Every time you go through adversity, when you come out of it, you get like 4 badges or 4 like
level up
Madden traits, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's exactly what this is.
Yeah. One, when I look at your career, I'm a fan because your game. And when I look at players, just in the history of the league, I'm always like, certain players, just like you say for football, are exception to the rule. You're an exception to a generational rule, right? Because you have all the intangibles, you have all the skills, but most importantly, it's the mindset. It's the mindset, the mentality, and all that can be amplified if you're smart.
Absolutely.
And you being highly intelligent as a playmaker, as a dominant force. I'm just wanted to give you your flowers personally, because I watched you from Kentucky, and I'm like, damn, dude. Like, I love big men. Like, I always say, I get my big man paid. You would have got me paid, dog. I would have just, hey, throw it all to you. You know what I mean? I'd have got paid.
Double team, knock it down.
Come
BB.
on, man.
Yeah, let's keep it simple, man.
Damn, only if we could.
Yeah, I know.
But any last messages to the Raider Nation? I know they're gonna be seeing you.
Love and support from me to the players. Wish you guys a healthy, successful season. To the fans, can't wait to run into you guys throughout the season. See you at the games. It's love. I'm approachable. Let's cheer these guys on. Let's wish them the best, and let's go Raider Nation.
Yeah, we gonna be locked in.
We locked in.
We gonna be locked in. We ain't gonna be smiling this year.
No friends this is?
Man, we can't.
We scratch that message. Hey, man, it's up. We want all the smoke.
Up.
We don't care who in front of us.
We got to.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to get back to the paint. I may come one game with the paint. We got. I'm done. Let's go. There you have
Let's
it.
get it, man.
Raider
No
Nation.
friends this season, man.
No
We want all the
friends.
smoke.
No friends. We gotta build our
I'm trying to be
tribe.
politically correct.
Nah, man, this is our show. This is
what it is.
This is our team. You know what I
let's
mean?
get
You
it,
got the
yeah.
shirt on.
Yeah, let's
This is
go,
our
man.
thing. Raider Nation, appreciate you. DeMarcus Cousins for gracing us with your presence, man. To everybody out there, Raider Nation, Silver and Black, you already know it's all about us and nobody else. And we out. Of the nation, testing, 1, 2.
I ain't know you was a Raiders fan, bro.
Hell yeah. When I was in LA, I used to see other teams walking in the Coliseum. I was like, I'm rolling with this. If I go to a football game,
black.
I'm going to
Just wear black, brother.
Yeah.
Even if you ain't with the Raiders, just wear black, man.